meeting order. March 12th, 2024, 7 o'clock. Have pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council, approval of February 27th, 2024 regular meeting minutes are in front of you. Any corrections?
Not that I can see.
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second that.
Moved and seconded to approve February 27th regular meeting minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. The council's decision that was made from last meeting has a direct impact on a town employee. And I believe that the decision is not for the betterment of the town. Because of that, I have cause to call an executive session, RCW 42.30.110F, for 15 minutes with possible action to follow. It is currently 7:03. So what?
The executive session isn't on the agenda.
17. Oh, 17. Okay, so council, can we retire?
So we need to add that to the agenda and adopt it? Approve the
I
agenda?
can call in, anybody can call an executive session, so that's what I'm doing.
It needs to be on the agenda.
7:03 to 7:18.
So Paula refused to put it on the agenda.
Oh, Denise.
You did. Paula, you have to call a special meeting and then have an executive session or put it on the agenda.
Council, we need to.
Let's go.
And talking about a position is not an executive session issue. Talking about an individual's job performance is. That's not a position.
She can't overstep council like that.
What shall we do now? I can preach.
Look
Bring it on,
look up on your phone. Look up on your phone the executive session requirements. Look it up.
Why do we care?
Because it's a violation.
Okay.
Well, we care because when it is in favor of Paula, she has no problem calling that same call.
Which?
Well, it's not on the agenda, so it's not gonna be discussed tonight. Yeah, but if it's her, I don't.
But a lot of things that were done were because of somebody else didn't have a position.
I'm sorry.
Because what?
I didn't hear what you said.
What did you say, Mara?
I didn't hear
Oh,
what
I'm
you said.
sure it was something nasty.
We need to have the attorney here for these meetings because there's too much going on that is not correct. And she doesn't want to do that. Are you going to pay for it? Yep, we have. And as a matter of fact, I talked to the prosecuting attorney and he suggested we do that anyway because it's a lot cheaper than having a lawsuit.
Did you get that video? Right. Yeah. Where's it?
I didn't have, a problem hiring Johnson. And that's when the problem started, because nobody knew what was going on.
I thought she couldn't overstep counsel on that,
On which?
on removing a position.
She can't,
That's what I thought.
she can't.
So it's
But
more
they
of
should
her
have
crap.
stood up right now, because
You know everything, don't you?
I do. She, the council should have stood up right now and said this is a council meeting, not Paulville's
I
meeting.
would like to know what.
They should have controlled it instead of letting her control it.
Yeah, I want to have.
They had
The place to start is Robert's Rules of Order.
What is it?
Robert's Rules of Order. I know this because I've been having this.
Tell them what Robert's rules are.
It's just book about this.
So if they what? Says, gives them.
Parliamentary procedure.
Yeah.
And the flow of meetings,
She's
agendas,
normal though.
conduct of, voting, how to introduce bills and legislation and rulings.
So and that's what those things are based on? Yes. Okay, so.
You have to do some of the things.
Robert's Rules is the basis for a lot of things. That's what I think, that's what we go by here.
And you guys can all look up mrsc.org and look this stuff up on there.
I want to know for our town,
Yeah.
what are our town's ordinances, what are our town's, where do we find that
Lynn
information?
Municipal Code, for Code Publishing. CodePublishing.com.
Each county has their own version of Robert's Rules.
And then CodePublishing.com.
All I did was teach it.
And then you go to, I heard they have a library. And it lists all of them, and you have to look through them, and I can't remember if it's under L or if it's under G, but put on. They're alphabetical, yeah, they're alphabetical order. That's our administrative code. All the ordinances that are codified, on the very last page, it shows
Yeah,
all the
she
words
needs
that were shared.
It's one of my favorite people. No matter what anybody
Also, there's each one, each code, there's a number, and there's a paragraph. Those are the ordinance numbers and the dates. That paragraph. Also, there are different pieces also for the ordinances that are all,
Yes.
So if things, once things get changed, ordinances get changed here,
I told her.
how do they get up in there?
There's the office, the code publishing, and
And then they updated their.
And I, last time we did do it for a year and a half, I think we feel bad, they finally did it.
Yeah,
Supposed to be done.
exactly.
It does cost money to do it, for those that doing it once a year.
So it's still could be extremely. So where are, let's say, do like documents, change, where are
Oh, that's
they?
gonna be fun. I'm gonna have cases of sidewalk talk. Sidewalk talk. Yeah, I'll turn the cam. Yeah. You can sidewalk talk at work. Yeah, that's good. New decorations. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Very good. Very good. Awesome. Okay, let's be in touch. Okay.
That's good.
I'm starting to.
The executive session does not have to be on the agenda. The executive session can be called as a special meeting, and then it doesn't have to be, well, it does have to be on the agenda.
He was stationed. He had a test and he was exposed.
And look up what executives, what you can do in an executive session. Look up what you can do in an executive session.
What is the website? SENC.org. Under public meeting.
I don't think there was no state election, people were never starting that. Not even out on the sugar.
Eighty-one is the basis for that.
I know, I didn't know we moved to Belton, all of them. Yeah, I have no idea.
Anyhow, this is contact. You can use.
It's possible, my neighbor can see all I know is I mean, you're dictatorship in this town.
I know. I know one time I was one of the ingredients to that.
That was nice of her to give me that information.
We woke up in 1940, and there's a Hitler again. They got
You go over there around the first pitch.
I went through.
Yeah, you have to walk backwards. Squish them all together.
We were highly upset, but, we reached the berms and went.
The last line of the agenda.
Just hey, it was going across the desert.
Who may add or
You
delete?
guys did recount this week.
We had a whole bunch of people that.
Okay, how about the household name? I'm not, well, as mayor, they add or they
I had no idea. They learned about, fossils, I saw us. Which they a lot of them, they've been in the States, like Minnesota.
She probably knows.
Yeah.
Oh, Oh, you do?
What about the church food?
They already voted on it.
Yeah, I don't understand. Well, I don't think I understand. She told us that we know it's
Council members who decide it.
They're not supposed to. They said that out loud. So they had to redo
So
it.
anything council tries to do, sidestep and.
They already voted to approve it. And Barbara is trying to play games.
Yeah, because she's.
Well, council's the one that's going to get it. No, Barbara said that. And Jamie has gone down and shown them where it came from, how that should be.
That's what it's like, church.
That's what Jamie said. They can take 80,000 out at the end of the year, every year, on current expense through water. They can take money out for the sewer fund. They can't find $1,400. I other reasons. And plus, I've done budgets, you have a miscellaneous thing for all the weird stuff that comes up in there.
Why are we $163 to change the water, sewer, and garbage? There's a lot of weeks that the trash comes in. And if we flush more than one toilet during the week, it's a surprise. So why don't they just why don't they lighten our bill a little bit? It'll get heavier here in a couple of weeks.
I don't think that they will charge everybody the same.
That's fine too.
But, again, everybody has.
Forgot my notebook.
That's fair. I don't know why they do
Yeah.
This is what they can have. That's a lot of money. $5
7:23.
Which means she's not getting her way.
The garbage. That's done by senior.
They charge the town, all of the towns are cover like for their employees have to change out garbage and all that. And so our town is regular, you're twice as high, and you're supposed to pass that on to the town, and all of us have done that. When she's gone, we are gonna have so many extra charges that it's gonna come down the pipe to the people, and they don't even understand that.
Well, that's done, it's supposed to be a public hearing.
Yes, yes. And she should have been down the council on time that the bill was going on.
No, not her. Somebody else. I'll do it.
That's what I ordered.
Yeah, right.
Because I know one thing that she has in the dumpster thing, that's supposed to be up.
Yeah,
It's also. Oh, yeah.
That's what we do.
Because you know, But yeah, so why that's, I mean, she's doing it with
I put it on why they might do it was, and I think I gave you the information.
It's going on.
we got a lot on the other side of town. So, I mean, when there's a lot of.
When can we get beyond the personnel?
We never said you saw that.
You mentioned shut
So there's.
and do it here, it's got it here. It's just like, it's the same shit.
They're trying to get rid of all these other junk houses.
You can't run into here because no one can let go of it.
Yes, they do, so they use it in my yard, and I end up picking that up. And I took a picture of when I backed it up, when I took a picture when that dumpster got there, and that dumpster's still there now. And I never been one to say, when get something around, and they turn around, and
You know they have a
yeah, when I see him sailing past my house. So didn't that surprise you when that's supposed to be $200 a month? Okay, yeah. Easy, one dumpster, one dumpster, one dumpster.
Right now, our budget is just the lights.
Right.
Power.
I don't know. It's a lot different. But here it's not. Yeah. Well, that, it's just the way it was Exactly. Yeah, so I get it. But it's. She doesn't make.
Okay, thank you, council, for doing that. We are getting back into order with 723. Council, for the record, my recommendation that the code enforcement position not be eliminated without mayor approval. What is your decision based on the new information given?
No. Needs to table it.
It sounds to me like
We
the mayor is pretty much a decision that's gonna, the decision that I gathered in there is the same as the decision that was made at the last meeting, that we're gonna eliminate the position. Unless I heard something else that you guys.
Nope.
That were sitting next to me.
Matter of fact, we already voted and it passed.
So could you state it again for the record plainly, I guess?
What do we need to
wasn't-
state?
Well,
You
I
just brought up a point. We're not voting on anything.
I know, but I didn't quite understand what Mike said.
Said the decision was made basically at the last meeting we had, and it hasn't really changed.
then this situation is tabled until I can consult with legal counsel to protect the
No.
town.
No.
Yes.
Nope.
With that, the agenda needs to be amended to include under unfinished business, item E, well 7, change order 2.
Could you clarify whether you guys allowed Paula to table something? She doesn't have the power to table.
We said no.
Okay, thank you.
Unfinished business, item A, council input of ordinance
Hold on.
language for the,
Sorry, I needed to add something to, code enforcement. I need to add under unfinished business, code enforcement position. Would that be F?
that would be F, yes. Okay, any objections? No, okay. Unfinished business, item A, council input of ordinance language. The one that you wanted to focus on is regulation and abatement of unsafe, unfit, and unsanitary dwellings, structures, or premises. The copies that you have had through the different meetings are different colors of different additions or editings. Do you want to get a color of the language that you like, or do away with? This is to pertain to dwellings that are unfit for human habitation, buildings, structures, and premises.
So it says duties of administrator. The administrator is the chief administrative officer for the purpose of this chapter. Who are we talking about in that?
I don't know, where are you?
Second, third page?
Okay, what was your question? If
Who
you
is the administrator?
look back a page, okay? And I believe that the definition says 5.
Thank you.
It's the mayor or his, her designee, code compliance officer, town council, or his, or her designee.
Why would the town council be on that?
It's just including decision makers. If you want that out, that would be a different edit.
Well, it says we'd be involved in investigation of the buildings and notify the building official and prepare service and posting of the complaint. Act as the hearing officer before the town council. It just doesn't seem like it. The town council would be acting as a hearing officer before the town council.
Okay, some towns have specific code hearings, and so I don't know, it could be all volunteer hearing officers, it could be part of town council, so if they don't have a quorum, because you know when you have 3 together, that's a quorum.
Yeah.
So if that needs to be stripped out.
What do you guys think? Should under administrator, the town council be part of that?
in my research, it said that a compliance officer has to have a building inspector license.
Okay.
It's a state issue. And I don't know that we have such a critter in this town.
Isn't that within 2 years, Jim?
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
Okay, building compliance, certificate, you said?
Yes, it's, building inspector.
Oh, inspector.
Yeah.
Okay. Building inspector. Okay.
So how do you guys feel about having the town council as the administrator?
I don't know why we need to.
I think it's a conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so,
So why don't we strike that?
So please strike out town council on number 5, administrator.
okay.
Other than that, I really didn't see anything glaring. It's pretty straightforward.
Like I've said before, having more potential avenues of guidelines that we could go with is what these ordinances came from, the reasoning behind those ordinances, so. Okay, with that suggestion, we can go through and strike out all town council terms, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And then does the council want that be presented in a totally different color, or can I make all the different colors, the different clarifications black?
You can make it all black.
What you said.
Yeah, it's already a different font, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, each different edit was supposed to be different for you, so that it would stand out.
So when you said removing town council throughout this, can we make sure that we're not removed off the parts where the town council would be part of it? We're not the administrator.
The way that I would do that is, keep the language, but then just do a strike through. And then if it didn't make sense after you read it, well then,
Okay.
okay, so that is presented again in 2 weeks with the clarification of town council verbiage out. Okay. All right, anything else on this? This one? Okay, so keep bringing this back with you, please. Next on the agenda, Mr. Chris Madison is here for the 1999 Chevy. And council, you have had the Autosmith
I got one there too.
invoice, okay,
I don't know if you guys have it or not, you guys got this.
they have had a copy.
Nope.
It was from the last meeting, I believe.
I'll pass it around here and show you guys. You can pass it back and forth, and I got some pictures there. So I wrote that up about, I don't know when the day was, a month ago or two. And it's a $3,500 estimate for all the stuff the rig needs. And it's kind of a sticker shock one, because that's a lot of money to put into that truck.
It's worth more than the truck.
Yeah. Most of the time, you guys always authorize everything I do, and thank you very much. I get it on this one, it's kind of my job to find everything wrong with it. Not that necessarily needs it to be a functional truck for the city. I just want to make sure you guys are really well informed because that truck's a really good truck. It's before they had cylinder active fuel management where they cancel cylinders and they have problems because of that. The Ford, the F-150, I think it's an 04. This is a better truck than that, even though it's older. It's a good Chevy LS motor. The first 3 out columns, on both columns, I've already done that. There was a little bit of question about doing the tranny service on it too. The noise that it had that Steven told me, he said, find the brake noise in it. Well, it actually turned out being a starter. The starter was loose and slipping into the flathead of it. Took a lot of time to find that. I pulled the tranny pan off thinking maybe the noise is inside there. So I did that. So that's kind of part of that work, the first 3 things on there.
Yeah, and I was mistaken because I let them know that the starter had already been done.
Yeah, and the tranny service, because I had to put it back. On there, I wrote up quite a bit more stuff. The water pump's just starting to seep on it. See that little wet spot right there? Yeah, see it right there?
Gasket joint.
Yeah, it's in the gasket. And then since I was doing a water pump and they're almost 25-year-old hoses, I wrote up every hose on it. But there's like $800 worth of hoses. So as a minimum, I'm thinking if you could authorize the water pump and the brake fluid flush. The power steering rack on it that's leaking, he can keep that full for years. See those boots and see what's leaking on the control arms there? That's not that big. Yeah, it's not, if he keeps it full, it's okay, but I gotta run it up because it's leaking. Oh, you know about cars. There's the boots leaking there. There's the water pump leak right there in the corner. Right there, that little wet spot. That's the power steering. You can let that go. It's a $500 part and $300 to put it in. I get it. We can shake some stuff off. It isn't going to be a problem running around town. The brake fluid, you take a multimeter, put it in there. This brake fluid's like got a lot of moisture in it. It's black. It's the pH strip, so you can put one of those in. I just use my meter to do the same thing, just to keep the brake system in shape, so it's not.
Hasn't it been changed, then, Chris, that fluid?
No.
For a long while?
It's never been. It's black. It gets moisture in it and it starts corroding everything.
Yeah. Is that the one with the press button starter? What you put in that day? We can't remember the.
That's the old 87. That's not that one. That's the old 87. That's not that one. This is the 99 that Steven drives.
Oh, yeah. It used to be Johnson's old truck.
I'm not sure who had which one. But yeah, he was driving the ambulance too. But he drove that Ford for quite a while too, that 04 Ford. So out of this $3,500, there's already about $900 of that spent on figuring out what the problem was and the training service, doing that, put it back together. If we did about $615 to do the water pump, just the water pump, none of the hoses, just the leaking water pump and a cooling system flush and a brake fluid flush. That would be about $615 for that. So that's what I recommend as a minimum on it.
That's parts and labor, right?
Yes, about $615 right in there.
And the hoses to it?
No hoses, just
Oh,
like
no, they were okay? The ones
They're
that are
okay. They're 15 years, or 25 years old. They're not okay. But that truck never leaves town. And Steven's driving it. It doesn't get driven a lot and get real hot. He's driving it. If it busts a hose, he'll go, oh, it's leaking coolant. Let's put a hose on it. You can cheat that way, you know. If I was trying to get it where you guys want to be running to a fellow all the time or Spokane or something, then what you doing? So we don't get a tow bill or burn a motor up, you know. But I'm thinking with that truck, 150,000. I've seen those LS motors go way over 300,000 miles. It's a good one. It's before they got too complicated, but they're still really good engines. So keep that in mind. You don't have to decide right now, but put about that much money into it, 615, and that'd be a good idea, you know.
I think
That's it.
that
I just want to
sounds
make sure
good.
you guys are well informed about the whole deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming and talking to us.
That's all I gotta say. Okay, thank you. Good luck.
When can you get it in?
Next year.
I was gonna say.
I want to cut all of the parts tomorrow and get it done within a week.
Make a motion.
Personal opinion, Chris.
Yeah,
Honest opinion.
yeah.
I don't think that truck's been regularly maintained. Like you say, the brake fluids, the checks, the belts, what we used to do when I was on this down.
They used to do a lot more stuff on them, you know.
Exactly, so I mean, if you're maintaining the truck, that's not gonna have these many problems if you keep on it, like the
Well, if you'd
brakes.
have maintained it when you worked here, it would be all right now.
There you go.
If you budget it out a year's time, and
You
then
know, what do you have a truck, you maintain it, correct?
so you're gonna have to put in $100 a month, $1,200 a year just in maintenance, other than oil changes, probably when it gets to be owned, you know? I mean, I don't know, I'm guessing at that part, but it's gonna use brakes, U-joints are gonna go bad, you're gonna have to buy tires, those are just consumables. Belts are consumables, you know, fluid changes are kind of consumables. You can't just go, well, let's just put gas in and do oil changes, because there's another,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
you know, I don't know how many $100 a year, but there's another part in there you gotta think about. But that truck, overall, looking at it underneath, shaking it down, look at the suspension, it is in real good shape. I think it was a weed board truck out of Kennewick or something. It was maintained by the government already, the city. So when I did the training service on it, it wasn't really bad. It needed it, you know, 150, it's been done before because it didn't have a factory gasket on it. But some of the other stuff, you know, you kind of look at it and it's just maintenance. It doesn't really have anything that's broke and needs something. It's just normal stuff that's kind of.
Normal things, yeah.
Yeah. But I think that truck's way better than that 04 Ford. That one's had issues since they got it.
You think probably getting that one done and looking after it as opposed to getting another one?
Yeah, I'd say, because you get another one, unless you can buy a $35,000 brand new one, you can get those. You can get a brand new Chevy truck, 4-cylinder. It's what they are after full size. And they're about $35,000. But you can't touch.
Looking at a plain
You can't
Jane.
touch that for this. I'm not gonna put that much into this. Unless you don't know what you're gonna buy. I mean,
Oh, yeah, exactly. Do stuff in with a light.
even if you're buying it from a GSA auction and stuff, you don't really know what you're
You
getting.
could be buying a whole nother mess.
Yeah, you could be buying something that needs tires right off the bat, there's a grand, you know, and then find out a few other things, all of a sudden you got a whole bunch you did, so.
So I'm hearing that you have a higher opinion of the Chevy than the Ford.
At least this Chevy.
Yes.
This,
That's what I'm talking, yeah.
this
And-
99, yeah.
And you would recommend that we do the $615?
For the water pump, cooling system flush, brake fluid flush.
Make a motion that we authorize
Saying that.
Chris to do
I
that?
second that.
Okay.
And then the other stuff, just kind of,
Keep my eye on it.
yeah, later
Tell
on.
Steven to keep an
Yeah,
eye on it, you know.
exactly.
Cool, thank you guys, appreciate it.
Okay, it's moved and seconded to approve the,
$615.
is that what it was, 615?
Roughly, give or take a few hundred.
Then that, how about we, like the next step in the maintenance program on that pickup?
Okay,
That was kind of like the next major step we need.
all right. Moved and seconded, maintenance,
Yeah.
we've got, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, thank you, Mr. Madison.
You're very welcome.
Next item is C, the 2014 Chevy tires. The, way back when I gave you, it was a green sheet of Les Schwab. And then I presented to you 3 discount tire quotes. And I went back and I gave that sheet back to you that had the star on it. And they currently, she wrote down, currently not doing alignments, and that was your question. So this, the discount tire and the Les Schwab are not comparable prices. So,
What was Schwab's?
oh, you didn't,
I don't have it with me, I can't remember.
oh, it's in your packet.
It's in your previous
Previous packet.
packets, Mike.
Okay,
Should be-
1,600 roughly, that's fine.
If you want to look at it.
No, I don't need to, I got this.
But it's green and
Okay.
it's, they paperclip together from the previous meetings that you missed.
Who did you say isn't doing alignments right now?
The discount tire,
No, they don't.
that's what you had asked.
So the wear on the tires was strange or just worn out? Was it like more on the insides or outsides of the tire?
What I was looking at myself, it's on the outsides.
So you've got your tread that runs across the tire and it was more worn on the outside
On
of the
the
tire?
outsides of the tire. And remember that this vehicle is a four-wheel drive. So,
So you had tires for
Just get discount tires and have the Schwab do the alignment. You're still gonna save hundreds of dollars.
okay, that's an option.
I mean, by looking at it,
Yeah, they're good putting
Or
tires
people
on
doing
the back
that.
of the line, but put down there again.
Is there a concern with driving that on the highway to get it to Discount Tire?
No, that pickup goes on the highway. When we run parts, we
Okay.
take that. So do you want me to contact Discount to see about time-wise, scheduling-wise, whatever? The starred quote is the $1,028.75, and then turn around and do the alignment elsewhere.
that's mine.
Do the alignment in Ritzville?
Yeah.
At West Schwab.
That's an expensive alignment, around $600.
Right. It's 130.
Well, no, just what for the alignment?
Yeah.
I was gonna say the alignments are cheap.
Really?
It's the tires that. When's the last time you did alignment?
Yeah, it's right here.
I want one. I don't want my that kind of money.
Doesn't matter what tire you buy, it's still $130 alignment.
And that's front and rear?
Four-wheel, it
Okay.
says four-wheel alignment.
Okay.
Okay, so if you want me to test that out again,
I would honestly, that's the route I feel that we should go. I don't speak for everybody, but I would get the tires at a discount and then have Schwab's do the front end alignment right here in Ritzville.
so
So I'll make a motion that we go with the discount tire bid for the tires and then have Schwab's do the front end alignment.
Second.
so it's been moved and seconded to purchase tires from the discount tire in Tri-Cities, and then ask the Schwab to do the alignments. Okay, moved and seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, I'll work on that. All right, next item on the agenda is Lynn Community Church rental agreement. And council, it is the deep yellow, dark yellow, actually goldenrod is the name of it. What has changed from the previous to this meeting is that the council members are not needed to be signing on this agreement, as you can see. The Lynn Council, the 3 bullet points, Lynn Council approved to enter into the Lynn Community Church rental agreement. The fee of $50 for each meeting attended at the community church will be paid and then possible meetings listed below, and all those are the council meeting dates. And then, you never know, but additional meetings may be necessary throughout the year. And a new line says, by motion of Lynn Town Council, Mayor Paula Bell is authorized to sign this agreement dated today.
It says that there's a meeting August 23rd and August 27th.
Oh, I forgot to correct that. It's August 13th.
13th.
I apologize.
I don't see the 13th one.
It says the 23rd, it should be the 13th.
Good catch.
Motion that we approve.
Is there a second?
Second?
Moved and seconded to approve the rental agreement with the Lynn Community Church for the meeting, or the fee of $50 for each meeting attended. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. All right,
Thank you.
now, E is well 7 change order number 2. And I believe that it is blue, and the memo that I will read is in green. Okay, dear Mayor Bell and council members, this memo provides a project update for the Well 7 rehabilitation project. As described in the previous update memo, the collapsing rock zone in the well has caused problems with the originally planned treatment method and resulted in a change in strategy for the treatment and future pumping of the well. Since the last update, the blockage has been cleared and a video inspection of the well was conducted by Dr. Lindsay and myself, which is coming from Dan Remick, observing. It showed that the existing casing extends to 513 feet below ground surface, which is BGS. Static water level is at 575 feet BGS, and the breakout zone where the rock slide happened is between 614 feet and 635 feet BGS. The bottom of the well is at 1,005 feet BGS. The loose rocks observed in the breakout zone confirm that we need to sleeve the well past the breakout zones to prevent further collapsing, which could close up the well and make it unusable. The most economical way to line the borehole is to repurpose the old well discharge pipe, which could act as a liner down to 800 feet. This existing pipe will need to be cleaned and prepped before it is reinstalled in the well. And set at 900 feet BGS and will provide the best efficiency for pumping. The recommended plan is to install the liner first to prevent any further collapse. After that, the well will be chlorinated to treat the biofilm. Then a new submersible pump will be installed and used to purge or flush the well. This pump will stay in place as the permanent production pump. Submersible pumps for deep wells are limited due to the size restrictions of the well. Fortunately, we have been able to find a 100 horsepower, 300 gallons per minute pump that will closely match the estimated production capacity of the well. While this is a lower flow rate than the original treatment plan predicted, it is roughly equivalent to the forecasted maximum daily consumption for the water system. So it will still be an adequate source to supplement and back up well 8 in the near term. The proposed change order, which you have, adjusts the contract to eliminate the parts of the original treatment plan that will not be used, and adds the task to prep and install the liner pipe and procure and install a submersible well pump. Approval of the change order is needed to continue the work and get a producing well. And you can see the change order on the second page, I guess. Change order addition subtotal is, states is 136, 198.58, so 136,198.58 cents. Change order additions or deductions subtotal is $4,901.42. Then they have tax, $392. So that all you're approving is change order of $5,293.53.
And that's minus 5,000.
That is the savings from
Right.
what was there.
We definitely need to do it. My opinion.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, how will this affect the well
Yeah.
description?
Don't know yet because we're not producing anything.
And they're still thinking 85 to 140 days to finish that
Were you reading that?
Right down there at the bottom.
bond. Total contract time?
Oh, I see. 85 days total is 140.
So we really need to get that well up and running. It's
Right.
Mhm.
Council, could I ask you a question? So it was a $300,000 loan with 25,000 grant or something? So where are we in the budget? How much of that we have spent? Does anybody know?
Yeah, I don't know.
So we had 45,000 for the original design or something, and 35,000 like a month ago, and now it's 136? Is that right?
Plus the contract was
I'm not sure.
And what was the last change order that you guys just signed last week?
That was for them to clear the well,
And how much was that one?
34 something, I believe, 34,000.
Is that the one that was okay? Anyway, it would be nice if you guys could let us all know where we are in regard to how much money's left.
Mayor, can you have that information at the next meeting, please?
So, council, change order number 2. Is before you.
I make a motion that we accept it.
Second, when do you get done?
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve change order number 2.
Sorry.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. That's all that. Okay, additional F, under unfinished business? You said code enforcement was your,
Seeing that Henry was still working in the code enforcement position that was eliminated, I called MRSC and got some information, and they typed out a resolution. Resolution 24, whatever the next resolution would be for the year. I don't know what number that is. Whereas the Town Council of the Town of Lind, Washington has eliminated the code enforcement position as voted on and passed by the Lind Town Council on February 27th, 2024. Therefore, the code enforcement duties shall revert back to the mayor, and all wages and benefits for the code enforcement position shall be reallocated as follows. $1,400 to the legislative part. It's under Code 511, a new line item for council meeting rent. $6,000 to a new legislative line for council training, conferences, and workshops, as there are none for us. There's no money in the budget anywhere for us to do any kind of training, education, anything. And $4,000 to the vehicle reserve fund under the line item vehicle purchase line, since the budget last year did not put any money into the vehicle reserve fund at all. And the remaining, oh, sorry, I skipped one. And $4,000 to the park facilities, a new line item playground equipment. I know that Laura was asked to poll the kids and find out about something for our parks. And I thought putting that in there would be a help to go towards working with a grant or a grant loan combination, because there's nothing in our budget for playground equipment. There's repair money, etc., but not anything that's formally for the playground equipment. And then all remaining money after those are portioned out will go to the finance audit charges line. Now therefore be it resolved that by this resolution, the Town Council of the Town of Lind has eliminated the code enforcement officer position and set the reallocation of such funding. This is retroactive to the date of the original vote taken and passed on February 27th, 2024. This resolution passed and adopted on this 12th day of March, if we vote to adopt it. Any questions? Council, comments?
No, good. So in agreement, Jamie.
I have a question. Does this have to be run by the attorney for legalities of the what's been proposed here?
Not until we vote on it or decide to vote on it or not. There hasn't been a motion made yet. So.
Right, but
Paul
I
can't
just
delay
need
it
to.
in order to talk to the attorney. You guys can forward it and.
We know.
Excuse me, we are discussing it ourselves here.
I move to approve it.
One second, I think we gotta make a motion.
Move or make a motion. That means the
Make a
same
motion.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured you said.
Resolution 24 dash, whatever the
Well-
one is.
I don't know what the number would be. I
Right.
don't know what the last resolution was for this year or if we've had one yet.
But elimination.
Is there?
Looking it up, I can't tell you.
Okay,
We have
that's what I thought.
resolutions. Yes.
That's why it says 24 dash nothing.
I don't know. But this takes us into litigation.
So, I don't know what it's been moved and seconded, but.
You need
no
to
vote,
call for the vote.
no, but how is
If you wish to take it to the attorney afterwards, that's fine.
But Henry doesn't get to work until.
Excuse me, but thank you for the audience. Moved and seconded, by Jim and Robert to approve this resolution. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? I will be exercising a veto on this.
You can't.
That's
Just
for
for the
cities,
record.
Paula, you don't have
Just for the record.
Yeah, that's not,
Okay, new business,
Not
thank you,
appropriate.
Pastor Rod Dennis.
Boy, you guys need me here really bad, don't you?
We need Jesus.
You're mad?
Huh?
You're mad?
Oh, no.
You said you're mad.
No, I'm the entertainment for the evening.
All right.
Yeah. You all do me a favor and just kind of stand up, take a deep breath. Just go ahead, stand up and take a deep breath.
Yes, sir.
Stand up and take a deep breath. I love the privilege of being able to come here. Small town's important to me. And as such, while you're standing, we can talk about small town, or you can go ahead and sit down. Just feel better, a little reinvigorating? No? Oh, come on, London! I got a bad knee and I can still do this. So seriously, folks, coming up here in just a few weeks, on the 23rd of March, we're going to be inundated with about 30 young adults and probably 10 adult leaders that are coming from Morning Star Church over in Salem, Oregon. They've been here before. This is going to be like the third or fourth year that they've come over, and they do outreach projects, they do outreach programs within the community. We talked about that last time when I was here about a month ago, I think, or a couple meetings ago. The other part that's really important to me as a servant of Christ is that they're coming to do Vacation Bible School. The goal here is to introduce the children in the community to young adults that have given their lives to Christ. Because if you don't already know it, Jesus Christ is the only way to the Father. It's a church, I can say that, even if I'm in a council meeting, I think. Jesus Christ says in John's Gospel, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Nobody comes to the Father except through me. And we share the Word of God, adults, young adults, children, because we're all told in the Bible that to receive God's grace, it comes through faith. And faith is learned through hearing, and hearing what? The gospel of Jesus Christ. That's what these young adults are going to do. I'm sorry, if you think you're going to heaven because you've paid your taxes, you haven't made anyone mad at a town council meeting, you stayed off of Henry's bad list, those things don't keep you on the pathway to heaven. You need to have a relationship with Christ in order to get there. And that's what these young adults are doing. That being said, initially we didn't know it, but that's also the week that they have parent-teacher conferences up at the school. The kids are going to be settled down here. They're going to be staying here in the basement and upstairs in the classroom, and we've got approval to use the showers down in the middle school. But with the parent-teacher conferences going on, there's 2 days of no school. So I need help getting the word out to the kids in town that there's going to be other young adults here. They're going to have games. They're going to have sports camp. They're going to be utilizing the park facilities. It's always a wonderful place. Hopefully we're going to have some really good weather. I'm told by good authority that spring is on its way eventually. And so what I'm trying to gin up here this evening is just support from the community to help get the word out. Now, my wife is rather talented, and she came up with a nice sports camp flyer. We'll start passing these around town. I've only got 5 of them, so if you could just...
What is like the age group on these? Is there like real little to whatever? I mean,
you got kids, send them. Doesn't matter on that. Well, you
I
don't...
mean, I'm like the ones coming to town.
Oh, the ones coming to town, the middle school and high school.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Because this is a unique situation because the kids are the ones that teach. The parents, they're just there to facilitate things. It's the students that are actually conducting the camp. So they know Christ, and so the kids locally see that they know Christ, and the goal is that our local kids will get. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but churches around this town are struggling. I mean, we've got.
Aren't even churches anymore.
Yeah, we've got, okay, for instance, back here where the dinosaur that eats the place lives, back behind those two doorways here, diesel-fired furnace. And we got less than a year to get it replaced, or our governor says we can no longer have, and so the gas isn't an option because we have to go commercial. So we got a bid, one bid so far, $13,000 for total replacement, and that would give us a trunk line on this side of this wall here, so we can have vents shooting this way, and you all get to benefit from that, and it's supposed to be 1/3 the diesel fuel consumption. So if you burn 900 gallons of diesel in a year, if my math is right, I'm a Deary High School graduate, so 300 gallons as opposed to 900 gallons in a given year. And there's roughly 12 families attending this church that are footing that bill.
How much do you have towards that right now?
Right now, we've got probably most of it. Through various financial options, we had our auction and soup supper, and we raised a couple $1,000s there. I've had Army buddies contribute from as far away as Florida. And it's been a wonderful thing to see people coming together in community to help keep this place afloat and keep it warm. I did not want to have to charge for gatherings here, but here's the deal. The lights